and all of our other activities as members of the covenant outside of the liturgy finds meaning and full flourishing when it is nourished from and directed towards our liturgical life. But for the liturgy to produce its full effect, Sacrosanctum Concilium tells us, it is necessary that you and I, as covenant faithful, come to it with proper dispositions, that our minds may be attuned to the voice of God in the liturgy, that we should cooperate with the divine grace that God pours out into us, because we don't want to receive it in vain. In the last episode, I talked about how we need to live lives worthy of the sacraments, because the sacraments are not our right, and I cannot stress this enough. We don't have a right to go forth and take the Eucharist. We don't have a right to baptize our children. We don't have a right to all of the sacraments. We have access to them, but they're given to us as gifts of the benevolent Jesus Christ. And we need to put ourselves in a disposition worthy of receiving these gifts. Because if we don't, for a gift so royal, so divine, so sublime, so supernatural, we run the risk of disdaining it. And there's a name for this. It is the sin of sacrilege. It is the sin of desecration. And this is why the Church cautions us, especially pastors. We must realize that when the liturgy is celebrated, something more is required than the mere observation of the laws. It is also the duty of our pastors as well as ours to ensure that we take part fully in what we are doing, to actively engage in the reception of the gift of the liturgy and the sacraments. Our spiritual life isn't just limited by the liturgy. I don't want to say that, therefore, we should spend our entire day in the celebration of the Mass. But we need to understand we are indeed called to live out our covenant life, nourished by the liturgy, to go forth then, ite missa est, this is the mission, to go forth to pray with our brothers and sisters, but we must also enter into our chamber to pray by ourselves with God our Father. And even more, to adhere to the teachings of Jesus Christ as He has handed it down. We learn from the apostles that we must always bear in ourselves the marks of the dying Jesus, which simply means we must live out the gospel of Jesus Christ in every facet of our life. We must make manifest the covenant life that we live. We cannot live our covenant life in secret. Our covenant life must inform every facet of our decisions. It's not like what I do is not informed by my faith. It is not like my vote is not informed by my faith. It is not that what I believe should not inform my friendships or should not inform the way I make decisions. No, our covenant life entails every facet of our being. In other words, to put it very simply, if we are to talk about our covenant life and the liturgy and the part it plays, if you and I don't make our covenant bond with God, our Catholic faith, the be-all, end-all of our life, we are not living the faith as we are called to live it. This is why we receive the gift of the Mass. We receive the gift of Jesus Christ as our spiritual victim, so that He can transform us, to make of us eternal gifts to the Father. This is why, going from there, all of our other devotions must be informed by the covenant liturgy that we celebrate in the Mass. For the liturgy is within which the work of our redemption is accomplished. Our covenant bond is accomplished through Jesus' finished work on the cross, as continually applied in our life, in our participation in the sacraments, and primarily our participation in the Eucharistic liturgy.